George Eliot said, ideas are poor ghosts until they become incarnate in a soul. Then they reach out and touch the world and shake it with a passion. And all this stuff is really good, and you're going to get a cool mural and a recording and all that kind of stuff, but it will remain a poor ghost until you do something about it. And what I'd like you to do is, what one thing are you going to do in the next 6 days? One thing out of all the stuff that we talked about, maybe it's the clarity, what you got clear about, maybe it's something else. But what I'd like you to do is write down, put a post-it up there, one thing that you're going to do in the next 6 days to turn these ideas into a poor ghost, or from a poor ghost into something that's actually going to touch the world and shake it with a passion. So what are you going to do in the next 6 days? And I like that a lot of you are seeing this, so both as a personal competency set, but also a way to work with and lead others. Create a self-awareness around how I'm pushing my people.
I'll chat real quick again, John. I think, at my level, I'm a facilitator, I'm a counselor. So for me to kind of do some self-awareness before going into an event and how I'm going to manage my energy, my focus, my pace, to then be able to guide and direct the people that pretty much are the worker bees in our organization. Everybody else talks about employees. It's me and a program assistant. Everything else I do is through the great people in our communities, and managing that volunteer base is quite taxing sometimes.
Yeah. Here's another way. Use this as a lens on how you do your programming. Because I know that there's a lot of people who do programming for events or camps or conferences, and they don't take into account pace, energy, and focus. And so they'll pack the schedule, or they'll forget that they have to do like a snack. Oh, we'll interrupt that flow that we've got going if we have to stop them for a snack and the kids are passing out because low blood sugar. But using this as a lens and how you program can also be helpful too.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So the same practice here. You thought it, you wrote it, you're much more likely to follow through. All the studies show if you tell people, writing it down is one thing and a good, but even just speaking it out loud to a group of people that you probably won't see again, you're much more likely to follow through. So I want to ask you, what are you going to do? You verbally tell me, what are you going to do in the next 6 days to turn these into something that's going to touch the world?
John, I was familiar with your platonic triangle before, obviously, but I really liked the next step of looking at your talents, resources, where I'm spending my time, my energy, my money, whatever. And is it going to that thing that I think should be the top of my focus triangle? And I would venture to guess that it maybe is like your horse's story. So I'm going to do that exercise sometime this week.
Cool.
I'm definitely going to try the set the alarms thing and try to figure out that triangle as well. I'm aware of the Eisenhower grid, but it hasn't stuck with me before, so I think the triangle might be a good option for me.
I've got a meeting next week with someone whose performance hasn't been quite up to standard. And I'm thinking that a lot of it has to do with this time management, energy management. So I'm going to share some of these competencies and explore it through this language and through this lens, and see if we can keep this person. And I got a lot of tips for myself as well, things that I know, but I need to be constantly reminded. So this is another reminder for me to fix my calendar.
Yeah, for me, I'm a big morning person. I do a lot of my better thought tasks, the heavier focus tasks in the morning, but my work schedule has shifted to the evenings, and I'm forcing myself to try and fit into that like schedule, but it doesn't work for me. So just knowing to do that more creative, thought-provoking type things in the morning, even if it's not like with work, will be helpful for me.
Yeah. Well, wrapping things up here, I'm hoping that this idea of these 3 areas can help you be both stay effective in your job, but still be healthy and content in how you go about it, so that not only are you good at your job, you're happy with it. And you're happy with your life too. And just stop beating yourself up for not having the right time management or the right work-life balance, but you have the awareness and the ability to manage. So that's what I'm hoping. And that I hope I got the concept across. Raise your hand if you're walking away with at least one thing that you're going to do in the next week. You got something? Good.